Greetings, fellow humans. You know me as Iceman Caesar, and this is what's up in the world today. Finally here, WrestleMania weekend. Took forever to get here, but we made it. It's here. Going to kick things off with the Hall of Fame tonight with an awesome class of inductees. Got NXT tomorrow night, Saturday, and then on Sunday, the big one, WrestleMania 34. Can't wait for that one, but we're here to talk about NXT on Saturday, so let's get right into it. NXT Takeover New Orleans should be an awesome show, just like WrestleMania, stacked from top to bottom. And, you know, the legacies of Takeover has been nothing but greatness, and I think this one's going to continue that for sure. Because when you take a look at the card, there's just no sleeper matches. Everything is going to hit hard, and I think the crowd's going to be really into every single match. So I can't wait for Saturday, can't wait for Sunday. But let's get right into the preview for NXT Takeover. First match we're going to talk about, unsanctioned match, Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. And finally we are getting this match. You know, it's been a long time coming. You know, they had that awesome turn. I think it was almost a year ago now, but unfortunately Ciampa tore his ACL, so we couldn't get right into the feud. But they've done a great job with keeping it going and keeping the fire going just enough to keep people interested. And now that Ciampa's ready to go, Gargano's ready to go, and I can't wait. This is going to be I think this will be one of the defining feuds of NXT when you look back in about 10 years. Like this feud really has the potential to be something special. So I'm really looking forward to the first match on Saturday, and it's going to be interesting to see which way they go with it. You know, it's Johnny Gargano's been looking to get his revenge. He's taken a lot of losses coming into Takeover, so he might be looking to go over. But at the same time, you know, Tommaso Ciampa is kind of first match back, so you know, do you want to have him losing? It'll be interesting to see which way they go with it. But you know, Ciampa is coming off an injury and that big long layoff, so kind of has a storyline excuse if he does lose to on Saturday. So be interesting which way they go with it. You know, I hope this is just the first of many, because I really think this could be like a Rockers level of, you know, like I just think it could be as good as the Rockers feud was. You know, like, you know, Shawn and Marty are on a level of their own as far as, you know, ring work, but you know, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa are right, you know, really, really great on their own right. And you know, they proved in the Cruiserweight Classic they can have an awesome match together. And that was without a storyline, without much animosity. But now when we got, you know, all the story that's been between them, and now all the history of the tag team and everything, it's just, I really feel that this feud could be Rockers level, and I'm just hoping tonight is the first of many, and that they, you know, really kick things off with a great match. I think they will, and you know, there's enough fire around this feud I think the crowd's going to be just all over it. And you know, it could be, I think we're in for something special. I'm glad that we're finally here and that both guys are ready to go. We're going to see this match. So next match on the card will be the triple threat match for what is now the NXT Tag Team titles, and I guess for the Dusty Classic trophy, because the remaining members of the Undisputed Era ran in on NXT to try and make the match at TakeOver not happen and attack both teams. But I know it's awful news to hear about Bobby Fish's injury. You know, like the Undisputed Era was rocking and rolling. Like, you know, they just seemed like they kept getting their momentum, and it's, you know, it's really sucks to hear something like this that has to happen. But you know, hopefully it just, you know, grinds out the rehab, and you know, comes back even better than he was before. So you know, get well soon to Bobby Fish. But you know, the show has to keep rolling, unfortunately. So it looks like Adam Coleman is going to be in for a long night. It could be a great night, could be a very bad night, but it's going to be a long one either way, because he's going to step up as Kyle O'Reilly's partner, and he's going to be in this match. And you know, Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong are two of the toughest guys. You know, you're in a match with them, you're absolutely going to feel it. And you know, the Authors of Pain speak for themselves. So you know, going to be a long, long night for Adam Cole, but. You know, like Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong have been a really nice surprise to the Dusty Classic. You know, they weren't in it originally, but, you know, got into it. And, you know, both guys have been just putting on nothing but great performances in the last few months leading up into this. So, you know, it's no surprise that when you put them together in a tag team, they're going to keep those great performances going. And they even almost have themselves a tag team finisher already. We saw, I think in the match, the match, I think with their first match, or first or second match, Roderick Strong spun the guy into, I think it was against Sanity. I think he spun him into Pete Dunne, who was waiting to hit him with the bitter end. So it was cool to see them kind of already have a tag team finisher together. And it's for a thrown together tag team, I think there's a lot more potential than most tag teams where you just take two guys and throw them together. So they've been a nice surprise to this Dusty Classic tournament. I'm actually surprised to see the Authors of Pain in the finals, because I kind of assume that they're going to be called up soon, so they might be getting into more of a role of putting over some tag teams that are going to stay in NXT. And I really thought that this tournament was at TM6 wants to win. Like they're an awesome tag team. They're finally back healthy, and I kind of thought that they'd be a tag team you really want to push to the forefront of the product. But they had a tough first match with the Authors of Pain, and the Authors of Pain beat them. I was surprised to see that, but the Authors of Pain are a really great tag team, and when they get called up, I think they're going to transfer. Don't think it's going to be very hard to transfer that act to the main roster. And they started out like definitely green in the ring, but they've improved to be really, really good wrestlers in there, and be able to carry tag team matches like this. So I'm really looking forward to see their performance in this match. And that's with. I really have no clue who's going to win. Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly aren't probably going to be a permanent tag team. Adam Cole is more geared towards a singles run, and Pete Dunne and Roderick Strong both. I can't see that being a long-term tag team with both guys having good singles runs. And the Authors of Pain, they might be getting called up soon, so them winning the tag team titles might be. I don't know if I could see that happening. So this match, the winner is up in the air. I'm really excited to see this match and kind of see how it plays out and who comes out on top. So big stakes, the tag team titles and the Dusty Classic trophy on the line. So should be a really great match that the crowd is into. Next match on the card is a ladder match for the new North American Championship. Really glad to see them adding a new singles title. I really felt the product needed that, just for the guys. You can only have so many guys in the main event feud, so for everybody else, the roster is so big that I really feel that you needed a secondary singles title. So I'm really pumped to see that they're adding it here. We're going to get to see the first winner crown and then a ladder match. And man, what a murderous row of a lineup they put in this match. You got Adam Cole, who's going to be in for a long night, but he could have the chance to have the greatest night and walk out with 2 belts, tag team titles, and the new North American Championship. So Adam Cole's got to be one of the top favorites. Going to see the debut of EC3, who is finally made his way to NXT after a great run in NXT. After a great run in TNA, finally made his way to NXT. And he's a guy that's not in NXT to tread water. He's going after opportunity. He wants to swim with the sharks, and he certainly has got that opportunity at this pay-per-view. This is a lineup of sharks in this match, and it'll be. This is a chance. The spotlight will be on EC3 with it being his debut, so it's his chance to kind of show everybody that might not have been paying attention to TNA what he's been doing, what he can bring to the table, and this match could be a coming out party for EC3. Next competitor, Killian Dane, who's really just keeps raising his game every time he shows up on TV, every takeover. His coming out party was definitely at the War Games last year. He was just, for a big guy, he can move. He's just so agile and he's so quick, and he's got a unique look. And when he first came in, it's guys like that. It's sometimes it's a toss up to see whether they'll be able to raise their game to that next level and contribute on a more towards the main event level, but. Sometimes, they're not able to do that and they kind of fall toward the wayside and just get lost in the shuffle. But Killian Dane has made himself stand out with his performances, and, he's really becoming, one of the big badasses of NXT, and, a guy where you can look at and you just know this guy is tough, this guy can dish it out and take it. So, Killian Dane is a guy that's, I've really noticed him elevating his game every time he steps out. So, looking for him to be one of the breakout performers in this match for sure. And he could easily walk away with the title. Because I don't know. I mean, he's a guy where he could. I guess he could benefit from some more time in NXT, but at the same time, he's almost elevated his game where you could see that act transferring to the main roster. As long as they get behind him and stay serious behind him, and like if you do that, I think the sky's the limit for Killian Dane. And so the next competitor in the match, Lars Sullivan, kind of had a little bit of a hiatus there, was gone off of TV for whatever reason, but he's back now, and one of the strongest. He has kind of a pretty unique look to him. So he was one of the most. He's like definitely one of the superstars you're expecting to break out. He's been pushed. He's been given a pretty good push, and he's backed it up in the ring. And I think he's getting a lot better speaking on the microphone and stuff. So it's maybe not the time, but this is what the secondary title is for guys like Lars Sullivan, to give them a championship, to give him a chance to be in big matches like this, and to see if he can elevate his game and step up. So I'm really going to be watching Lars Sullivan in this match to see what he's going to be bringing and see what kind of a role they have him in. But if he keeps working hard and is able to put it all together, another guy where I don't think it would be too much to transfer this act to the main roster. Next competitor in the match, another debut of the much hyped Ricochet. I gotta admit, I haven't seen much of Ricochet. I did watch the match that he had with Will Ospreay that caused all the controversy, and I definitely wasn't a fan of the match. That's not the wrestling I want to see, but you could see both guys are just crazy talented, and if they're pushed in the right direction, I think they could definitely have some of the greatest matches you've ever seen. And that's why I'm really glad he's in NXT. With the coaches and trainers they have there, they can kind of help mold his act and mold his game towards more of a style that we're used to, and more of a I guess WWE style, more of a I don't want to say American style, because he's American, so it's, but just more of that style we're used to, but with a lot of his, a lot of the crazy things that he can do added into it. So I'm really glad he's in NXT. I'm really excited to see what he can do, and with in a ladder match, that gives guys just a big open canvas to just create and do stuff, and it's just I'm really excited to see what he can do and to see what he brings to the NXT, and I'm sure that he'll make his way towards the main roster and maybe 205 Live at some point. But I'm excited to see what he can bring. I gotta admit, I haven't seen too much, but from what I have seen, I recognize the talent, and I realize that there's something behind the hype. So I'm looking forward to see what he's able to bring to this match. And last but not least, final competitor in the match, the Velveteen Dream. And this Velveteen Dream is probably the biggest reason why I'm excited to see a singles title introduced in NXT, because Velveteen Dream is he is the guy that you have to build around for the future. So much potential in him. But right now, definitely not ready to carry the NXT brand with the main title. So having a secondary title for him to go for is just it could be such a huge thing for his career, and really, really help him develop and get his game to the next level. Because, with having a secondary title, he just makes bigger matches, it creates bigger moments, it gets him used to carrying a championship, defending a championship, competing in championship matches where they're a little bit more intense, crowds into it a little bit more. So, the Velveteen Dream is a guy that could, he really reminds me, like, he calls himself the wrestler of the 2020s, and I always love that, because that shows that he himself is aware that he's got a long ways to go. He's got a lot to improve, and he's still young, so everything don't need to happen now. He can have patience and do the right things to build his talents up, and then when he's ready, he will be able to take that opportunity and just like the sky's the limit, right through the sky, right through the roof. There's no limits to what the Velveteen Dream can do, I feel. But I got to admit, a little bit disappointed not to really see too much of him on TV, on NXT TV since the last takeover. And I'm just really looking to see more character development for him. I just want to see him be in this character more, do more things. That's kind of why last time I suggested, maybe doing a talk interview segment, because, that would give him a chance to work with people, to be this character, to really flesh it out and stretch its legs, and to see what else see how he can grow, and to grow with it. So, I was really hoping to see, when he came out and had the match with the, with the, with the kind of like those characters handing him his mouthpiece and stuff like that. Like, I just thought that kind of stuff is just great, and that kind of stuff is gonna take this character to the next level. So I was really hoping to see more of that. Didn't really see too much in between, but there's lots of time for that, and that's one of the things that I really want to see more of from the Velveteen Dream, is him just being able to be in the character, and to help it grow, and to see where he can take it, what he can do with it. So he has got to be one of the favorites to walk out of this match with the North American Championship. He is always looking at being, stealing the show. So I'm, there's just, like I say, like, he just kind of rounds out this murderer's row of talent that's in this match, and it's just, I mean, I don't think it needs to be said that this is going to be a great match and that we are all going to enjoy it. I just hope everybody's smart about it, doesn't take any stupid risks, and just pray for a safe, successful night for everyone, as we're doing for everybody on the whole weekend. So it's but I can't wait for this match. The winner is up in the air, and being a ladder match, it's gonna be intense, it's gonna be crazy. So I'm really looking forward to this match. And one more thing I want to say, like, I really, when you're looking at this lineup of talent that is in this match, I don't think it's going to take long for the North American title to be like the Intercontinental title was in the 80s WWF. Because, like, with that, in the 80s WWF, you just had so much legendary talent fighting over that title that it was just, that's why it gained the reputation it did. And, with all of this talent that NXT has in this match, and even that isn't in the match that'll be competing for this title, I really feel like it's not going to take long for it to be the 80s, be reminiscent of the 80s Intercontinental title. So I think this match is probably going to steal the show, but it got its work cut out for it. But I can't wait to see what goes down in it. And so the next match on the card for the NXT Women's Title, champion Ember Moon taking on Shayna Baszler. And I've really enjoyed this feud. Their match at last Takeover was a really good match. Enjoyed that. I've enjoyed the interactions between Shayna trying to call her out, and and then they had that little confrontation behind the scenes video on NXT. I've just really been enjoying the feud. I think these two could really become great rivals and have a really great rivalry together, and it's already starting. In this now they've got this second championship match, but I really feel now in that first match, I didn't think it was time to put the title on Shayna. I thought you had more story to build to that, but now definitely think it's the right time. I definitely think you pull the trigger on Saturday and you put the title on Shayna, because coming out of WrestleMania, it'd be good to have a big, a good heel champion that you could have all the baby faces chasing. Rematches with Ember Moon would be fire and create a lot of interest, I think. And it's just, I think the story is right, the time is right, and the time is now for Shayna to win the title. So I'm looking for her to win here, but it's not, that is no slam dunk, because Ember Moon is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. Obviously one of the best in NXT. So would it be a surprise or a bad thing to see her walk out? But I really think it's Shayna's time, and it would give her, Shayna, a lot of credibility in her character. Just a lot more legs to stand on if she gets the job done on Saturday. So I'm really really hope that Shayna is able to win the title in that match. And but that's the thing. These two, they really got to focus on raising the bar in this match and really elevating their game, because they had a good match in the first one, but like this match, they can't rest on the laurel. They rest on that first one. They can't say, "Well, we had a good one there." This one has to be great. It has to smoke. And with the crazy lineups. With the crazy lineups on NXT Takeover and WrestleMania, that's the thing. With with Asuka and Charlotte Flair and Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss, there's lots of the women's wrestling is a Shark Tank too. So Ember and Shayna are representing the NXT Women's Title in this match, and they've got to put on something that is it's even better than they did last time. So they got to raise the bar, and I really think they're going to be able to, because it's been a great feud. I think they have chemistry together, and with another hot crowd and another good story coming into this match, I think it's going to be great. I just really hope that they pull the trigger and put this title on Shayna. And then the last match on the card, and certainly not the least, for the NXT World Championship, the champion Andrade Cien Almas taking on Aleister Black. And so for me, I've got Andrade Cien Almas coming off of 2 5-star matches in a row. I felt that his match where he won the title against Drew McIntyre was a 5-star match, and I believe that the match at Last Takeover versus Johnny Gargano was also a 5-star match. So I feel Andrade Cien Almas has raised his stock to just an unbelievable level. I've been a fan of him since I first saw him come into NXT. I knew he had talent in the ring, but I wasn't really thinking he was capable of putting on this caliber of matches, this consistently. I mean, I really do feel that he put on 2 5-star matches in a row. And, I think it's universally accepted that the match with Johnny Gargano is a 5-star match. It got 5 stars from Dave Meltzer. So, I think everyone universally accepted that match as, as good as it gets, basically. And so and I think that, but it's not just Cien Almas. He's got some great dance partners, Drew McIntyre and Johnny Gargano. Now in this match, Aleister Black. And, Aleister Black is a pretty big crowd favorite, so I think the crowd is going to be very into this match, no matter what happens before and on the rest of the card on TakeOver. So I'm sure this will be the main event. And but I think there's a big chance that he could three-peat in this one and put another 5-star match together with Aleister Black. So I'm really excited for this match. I just really enjoyed the feud. I liked the attack that they did on NXT. It kind of felt a little bit different and unique. Like pushing Aleister's head into the cooler with all the water. I just love visuals like that, and it's just it just kind of goes along. It really goes a long way to connecting people to the feud, and like bringing them along for the ride, and just getting them to invest their emotions into it. So I really enjoyed the attack they did on NXT. And I really gotta say, it can't be understated in any way how much Zelina Vega has done for Andrade Cien Almas. She really makes him a main event act. If he was standing there, watching him and doing some interview segments, I kind of try to imagine if she wasn't there and how it would look. I mean, I believe he'd still be able to carry himself, still be able to be in this position. However, she just adds so much to it, and makes it such a better presentation that it's just. She's really been an MVP for the NXT product. Coming in and really helping build another star in Andrade Cien Almas, and she has had a big part in turning Almas into a main event level star when a lot of people might have thought of him as mid card level at best. So can't be understated what Zelina Vega does. I'm really glad that she's had this run, because it really shows people that might not kind of forgot what a great impact a manager can have on a match or a talent. So I really, a great manager can go such a long way to getting an act over or to help getting it to the next level. So, it's been fun to watch Zelina Vega and Andrade Cien Almas, and I really, I hope it continues. I as much as I'm sure everyone wants to see Aleister Black win, I'm really hoping that Andrade Cien Almas wins it tonight, just because he's doing. There's something special with this run. He's nobody expected him to beat Drew McIntyre. Nobody's expected him to beat Johnny Gargano, and I think people are really starting to accept him as a main event level talent and one of the best wrestlers in the world. You don't have 2 5-star matches in a row if you're not one of the best in the world. So I think this is a special run, and I think special runs have those wow, holy shit moments, crazy unpredictability really helps, and I think it would be probably pretty unpredictable to a lot of people if Almas retains the title. But I think it's I think Aleister Black probably the favorite, and they're probably leaning toward giving it to him. But I'll be cheering on Cien Almas on Saturday and really hoping he retains the title. But should be a great match, and it should have the crowd along for the ride no matter what happens before it. So I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm really excited for not only that match but the entire card. That brings me to the end of the preview and the end of the card for NXT. Like I said at the beginning, it is absolutely stacked from top to bottom, and it's just such a treat to be able to be able to watch a show like this the night before WrestleMania. WrestleMania WrestleMania could easily be enough on its own, but the fact that we get a WrestleMania. NXT's WrestleMania basically with the type of crowd that's there, sold out building. So it's just, I'm really thankful that we get these takeover events, especially before WrestleMania. It just adds to the hype, adds to the experience, and I'm really looking forward to seeing a great show on Saturday. Before I end the video, just want to mention a couple random NXT thoughts that I had. The first thing I wanted to say is that I love Heavy Machinery. I think they have, Dozovich and Tucker Knight. I think they have like a big ceiling for them, but I really feel that they got to get serious. Like, their act right now just feels too goofy and just too unbelievable, kind of. I mean, they're two big, tough guys that can work, and I think they have great chemistry. I like their back and forth together, but it's just, I guess more specifically, Dozovich, Big Dozer, like he's a unique look. Like I'm a fan of him, but I keep wanting him to get more serious. He kind of reminds me a little bit of early DDP, where DDP had 10,000 things he's trying to get over: the rings, the sunglasses, the cigars, the jackets, the cane. Just he had 10,000 things, and Eric Bischoff was like, no, pick one thing and do that and get that over, and then worry about anything else. But pick one thing. And I think Dozer is just in the same position. It's like he's got that asa and the boom shakaloo and and the worm. Seems like he's got so many things he's trying to do, and it's like, man, just pick one. Stick with that, roll with it, get it over, and then we'll work on other stuff. But it's, I just think that they have a lot of potential, but they need to get more serious and drop. Maybe they don't have to drop a lot, like all of the like the lighthearted stuff and the kind of the little bit of the goofiness, but they have to turn it down. They need to turn up the serious part of them and the more intense side. If they want to be taken serious as a tag team, like I think they have potential to be tag team champions, to help carry the division, to have great matches with these teams, but they're not going to get there if they're pigeonholed as this goofy act that does goofy things. So I really want to see them get serious, because I think they have a lot of potential. I really want to see them reach it. I'm a fan. I think they got to get serious. And the other random thought I had just wanted to mention is that, with the addition of the secondary singles title, I think that's awesome. But, I really think that the NXT brand could really benefit to adding another hour to the weekly show. So there's more time for people to have just more of a platform for people to, to work on their gimmicks, to work on their in-ring work, to have big matches and stuff. And you don't have to, probably wouldn't be a good idea to add an extra hour to every single NXT, but maybe, one NXT show a month has an extra hour, and, that way there's just a little bit more time for people to be in their gimmicks, to have, maybe do an interview segment, or to have, more like to be able to highlight, more secondary feuds, because when you only have an hour, there's only so much time, and might not have enough time to feature some of these secondary feuds. But if you had an extra hour, it might open things up. It would definitely open things up a little bit more. But I think it would really help, especially the women's division, because I think as good as some of the main feuds have been, that's really all we see. We don't see a lot of secondary stuff, and I really kind of feel that as great as it was seeing Asuka's undefeated streak and her run she went on, I really feel like the women's division is kind of stalled with that, because it was kind of all about the main feuds and making nobody's going over Asuka, so it's like nobody's really getting momentum with wins or big wins and stuff. So I just feel that another hour would really help, to give more time for some of these other women to have some secondary feuds that aren't exactly for the title, but because you need those. You need to have experience of getting into feuds and figuring out what works, what doesn't. This worked in that feud I did like a couple years ago, so now I'm going to try it in this one. It's like getting those experiences is what allows you to grow and raise your game as the years go by. So I just think that another hour, it might not be practical, it might not be a good idea to add one to every NXT, but once or twice a month having an extra hour, I think would go such a long way to helping the performers and just helping the NXT brand as a whole. So that brings me to the end. I just wanted to mention those few things before I ended the video. But we are in for an awesome Saturday night. This takeover is gonna. It's just like I said at the start, nothing but a legacy of greatness for takeovers. And I don't think Saturday night's gonna be any different. So I'm excited. WrestleMania weekend's my favorite type of year. You're always on like Christmas type high for the whole weekend. So it starts tonight with the Hall of Fame. Big cheers to everybody going in. It's gonna be an awesome night to see everyone get to celebrate like that, and then we are right into the action on Saturday night. So can't wait for that. Hope everyone enjoys it. Hope everyone has great times of fellowship and just. That's the thing. Watching wrestling is great. Watching wrestling with other wrestling fans is the best. So hope everyone has a great time in New Orleans. Wish I was there with you, but unfortunately I will be on my couch. Everyone on their couch. Hopefully you enjoy Takeover, and everyone just have a great, safe night. Get home. Make sure you get home safely. No drinking and driving or anything, and. We all want to enjoy this amazing weekend and these two amazing shows that we have. Well, three counting the Hall of Fame. So just as long as everyone does their part, it's going to be a great weekend for everyone. So that does it for me. This video, I'll be back uploading WrestleMania 34 preview in the next day or so. So be looking for that. Thanks everyone for coming along for the ride, and we'll see you soon down the road. Much love and God bless. Peace.